Hi everyone, welcome to Diet Rocks, and today I'm going to make chicken fajita pasta bake. So I've got a wok. You don't need a wok, just a big pan really, but my big pan's not very big. So first thing you want to do is give it a good coating in Fry Light. Any frying spray. You need a fair amount because we're going to cook quite a lot of onions and peppers now. So I'm going to turn that on, and in that pan I'm going to add about 1.5 sliced red onions. Pop that in, and 2 peppers that have been de-seeded and cut up into strips. Now there's all different sizes there, so I'm going to pop that in as well, and I'm going to let that fry for about 5 to 10 minutes, you know, until they're done, until they're all soft and we're ready to go on to the next stage. So while that's happening, I've also put in a pan my pasta. So you want 300 grams of pasta. Now I use either pen pasta or the twists. That's what I like, but you can put any pasta, and you want that to be cooked to the consistency of al dente, because that's going to go in the oven and finish cooking there. I don't have my normal tripod, so if there's a little bit of camera shake, then I do apologise. So I'm going to pause it now and wait for those to cook down, and I'll come back to you once they're done. As you can see, they're cooking nicely. So now I'm just going to add 2 cloves of garlic that I have peeled and just crushed, so they're squashed. There's 2 small ones which kind of add up to the 3, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of fajita seasoning. Now it doesn't matter which one you buy, you can add any. I'm just going to undo it. I didn't realise it was a brand new pot, so I'm just going to pause this a second while I get ready. Okay, so I have my seasoning. I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons. I'm going to do that nice and generous of fajita seasoning. And I'm going to stir that round and let it cook for another couple of minutes. But I do want to add a little bit of water. Just going to add a little bit of water to help that along and cook it down. So I'm going to pause it just for 2 or 3 minutes while that sizzles and cooks down a little bit. Right, so now it's cooking down. I'm going to add 4 breasts of chicken that I've cut up and stripped. So it's into strips, sorry, that's kind of what I mean when I say stripped. So I'm just going to pop that in and give that a good stir around and let that start taking on the colour and cooking down for a little while. I'm just going to do that for a few minutes, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So I'm just going to pop it on hold while that cooks down for a little while, and I'll be back with you. Okay, now that's had time to cook for a little while, I'm going to add some passata, and I'm going to add about 480 mils of that. I think it's mils, so I'm going to leave some in there for the end. I'm also going to add, sorry, I haven't got my microphone added. I'm also going to add a stock cube, a chicken stock cube to this. Just crumble it in. You can use whichever stock you like, but I'm using good old-fashioned OXO. And I'm also going to put in 250 mils of just plain water, and then I'm going to stir that around and let that combine for a little while, and all the flavours will kind of amalgamate. So I'm just going to let that cook for a while. Sorry, like I said, my normal tripod is in storage, so I'm using this one. It's a little bit sensitive. So right, that's all incorporated now. I'm just going to let that simmer for a while, and I'm just going to check on my pasta, so I will put it on pause for a second and come right back. Pasta's coming on nicely, so what I'm going to do now is going to let this come to a simmer, and then I'm just going to let it cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Once you just can see there's a little movement in the water now, but once it starts to simmer, I'm just going to let that cook for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then we're ready to do the next stage. Right, so that's bubbling away nicely. So we want to preheat the oven to 200 degrees, and at this point is where we're going to add the pasta. So I'm going to just spoon some in for now, but this is cooked so that it is not quite finished. It's still al dente. So I'm going to put all this in and stir it through. It's going to take me a little while. So basically that's all I'm going to do is just add, could just lamp it in, couldn't I? But I don't really want to do it this way, but we'll pop it in and then just stir it through. It does look like rather a lot. It does make quite a big pot. This says that it serves 4. This is a kind of a variation on a recipe that I found in a magazine. So you might notice there's the odd shell there. I didn't have quite enough twists. It was just a little short, so I made it up with those. But normally speaking, I would prefer to use pen pasta, but I didn't have any in the cupboard. So now I'm just going to amalgamate that so that it's all run through the sauce, and I'm going to leave that just to bubble away for another couple of minutes, and while that's happening I'm just going to season it well with some pepper and some salt. Let's let that turn that over again, and I'm going to get my oven dish ready. I'm just going to let the oven heat up. You can always, if you want to, preheat the oven. Now if you want a list of ingredients and the method, I'm going to pop them all in the description box, so that will all be there ready to copy down. So I'm just going to pop it on hold for a moment while I get my casserole dish ready. Okay, so I've transferred it to the pan, and I'm just going to add the rest of the passata, just like that, and then I'm going to sprinkle on my cheese. Now I'm using a dairy-free cheese, but you can use 160 grams of mature reduced fat cheddar, and that will do nicely. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on top, all over. Just to the rest. Some over this side. All we need to do now is to pop that in the oven for around 30 minutes until it's nice and starting to brown, and then that's ready to serve. But I would let it stand for about 5 minutes once you've done that. So that's all there is to it. I'm going to pop it in the oven now and come back once it's done. So there we are, that's all nice and done and ready to eat. So as you can see, the actual ingredients were too much for my casserole dish, which is quite shallow. I did have another one I wanted to use, but that was too narrow, so they weren't really the right size. So I've made another small one. So this serves 4, and it does look like you get quite a generous helping, and as it stands has 6 sins for Slimming World. If you don't follow Slimming World, then that's fine, but just in case you do. But it would have less, obviously, if you use the cheese as your healthy A option. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to, as I said, put all of the ingredients and the method in the description box. But I myself haven't eaten it. I'm not allowed to eat cheese, so this is for my partner. I hope he's got a very big appetite. So thanks for watching. Until the next one, bye for now.